HIMS is in a massive spot, guys. We did see stock price gap down from 65 to as low as $42, guys. Luckily for the bulls, we did see them defend these range lows at the bottom of this gap down. Since then, we have found resistance at our marker points once and twice, and now we're meeting this ascending trend line, setting up for a ascending triangle-esque pattern, guys. With that being said, my name is Dylan. I'm Dylan's Trades. We're going to remain 0% biased throughout the entire video today. So let's start our prediction off, wasting no time, over on the weekly analysis. HIMS on the weekly chart, guys, we got a really simple image within stock price, right? We did get this major resistance and support level, right? Stock price grinded up. We held there for about 8 weeks, rejected. We formed this higher low, pressed up here for another 6-7 weeks or so, got the breakout. We regressed within this nice tight channel, retesting it, getting the breakout, and boom. We retracted all the way back down here, once again bouncing within this level. And now we have this really bullish structure, guys. We're incredibly bullish on HIMS around this $55 level, expecting the breakout. We were pushing that about $65 until gapping down as low as around that $40 range, guys. So now on the weekly analysis, things are different, but you know, they still look pretty good for the bulls here. As this is a spot where technically the last low is over here, right? We can still set this higher low within this vicinity to move up, either matching this low or reaching a new one before pulling back and setting another higher low. So we're still in contention for setting that stair step like effect where stock price goes up, we go down, right? Up, down. So from a grand scheme of things, it's still recoverable, right? When we initially got down the first day, it's hard to say, guys, but now we have time, we have dust settled, and you know, the buyer's been doing good. So on the weekly analysis, guys, we just really want to understand that stock price is in a range, more or less, right? We have these highs. If broken above, we can start to work our way to fill that gap towards the $65 area. But if we do break these range lows being the initial gap down day from this gap down, right, then we can move lower. It's as simple as that. Within this context, that's what we want to rely on. So with that being said, guys, let's go jump over to the daily to get the meat potatoes for HIMS stock price. On the daily analysis, guys, we have a textbook gap down within stock price. And now we're forming this ascending triangle where we form higher lows into even highs. Higher lows into even highs. And now we're looking to form another higher low being around this 47.89 level, coming up and testing this 52.24 resistance. Once again, either breaking out or coming back, gapping down, and once again forming another higher low. So what's interesting about the setup is that we have about 6-7 trading days before we reach the apex of the structure, where there is no more room for these ascending higher lows to form out, right? And there's no more resistance point for us to reject, so we have to make a movement. So keep this in mind. I do think here, right, we're seeing a textbook setup, and HIMS has a lot of bullish sentiment, guys. Within these kind of regions, within these stocks, we want to keep this in mind, right? We're a technical analyst channel, but within these regions, guys, on these massive gap downs, this is when, you know, the investor community strength is going to step up. And we have seen that as of now. So despite rejecting hard at our previous resistance or support level, rather, that we did have marked up from months ago, just now look back at HIMS today, and we perfectly rejected once and twice to our level. So this level is even more concrete now, right? Seeing a hard double top with some wicks and then rejecting. It's not the best sign, but just being that the sentiment is so nice, we've seen the buyers defend these lows. I am led to believe here, guys, that we will defend this level here. Once again, get the bounce, press up, and then likely, honestly, work our way for a breakout, guys. I don't think this is the setup where we will form out, get really tight, and then break down, right? Test this level, maybe consolidate and break down. I think this ascending triangle will actually lead to upside, as you have seen every single technical indication defending these gap down lows, some strong liquidity, right? And then we start to flip red, but we initially get the bounce. So we've seen some pretty good psychology as of now. So keep this in mind, guys. If we do break that 46.37 hard, this important level where we have multiple touch points coinciding, then likely we are broken down from this ascending triangle formation like this, right? And we are breaking down, guys. So if we break this level hard, it is likely that we are to push lower. We're right here, guys. We're looking for the bounce. If broken beneath this previous low at this 46.37, we're likely just to crush down. So keep this in mind, guys. That's what we're looking like on the daily analysis. I do expect stock price to flip bullish, but as of now, guys, we have to watch. So with that being said, let's go flip over to the hourly and get the final of our analysis ready for this complete price prediction. On the hourly analysis, guys, we're pressed right against this ascending trend line, but keep this in mind, guys. If we do knock below Friday's low, I don't think we're immediately going to crush down from this ascending triangle pattern, right? In a lot of contexts, right, we can actually come down a little bit lower and set a new touch point. So say these are the current touch points as of now. We could do something like this where stock price knifes a little bit lower, right? We form a newfound wick and then knife up. So I don't think, guys, if we initially knock down right below this low of Friday's candle, we're immediately crushing beneath. I think it's more of a surface level perspective. So I just want to preface that first and foremost, guys, as technically we are at the end of our trend line, but these can easily shift, guys, with new touch points. So we could be looking at something like this, right? Come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever cover stock price next, guys. So once again, we see the strength from this from the buyers. We get a really hard gap down, guys, very aggressive. We continue to bleed off, chopping, till ultimately getting this huge spike in liquidity, which is really nice to see with these kind of gap down stocks. You see buyers quick to step in. Very, very bullish, guys, and kind of out of nowhere, right? I mean, we're basing at these lows pretty hard. It looks like we're in a knife beneath, and then we just skyrocket up. So some pretty strong activity from the buyers within this region, as you know, we're understand that we're within this ascending triangle, so we have to understand the psychology. Where the buyers step in, where the sellers, and we've seen a lot more buyer strength than sellers. As once we peaked out over here and had this blow off top sort of formation, we enter this kind of bull flag S pattern, guys, where the sellers are just kind of chopping down. You know, they're not really doing too much. They're more or less consolidating. We reach the support and then we knife up, right? But in the past year, the buyers had this massive move up. So we see a lot of buyer strength within this ascending triangle. And once again, reciting back to the daily, the buyers have done what they've technically needed to do as of yet. So despite seeing a weak last 2-3 days, I don't really think that, you know, we're completely bearish here. I don't think so at all. I think we're bullish. Once we broke out of this structure, we did see another mini flag form out. This one did not work in the bull's favor, though. We did break below, and then we did see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7, 8 hours of red in a row. So this is a good spot where we could flip red to green, momentum flip, and get the bounce on this trend line. So keep this in mind, guys. You know, if we break beneath that 47.50 level, should be moving lower, but the number one meat and potato level, if we zoom out, guys, is clearly this level over here, guys. Notice how when we initially got down, we rejected it once, twice, 3 times, broke out. We come right down to this level. We hold it for multiple hours. We momentarily knife below, false break, boom. So there's a lot of respect on this level, guys. If we do break below this level, this is the entryway for potentially us to revisit this gap down low around that $40 area. So I do think there's a big gap between these two levels, but I actually don't expect sellers to be able, I don't be able to expect sellers to be able to push stock price down here, guys. So keep this in mind. If you are a buyer, could see about a 10% drop from this level. But as of now, guys, we're looking to base out, get a bounce here, and work our way up. So we're going to go look over on the daily analysis, guys, before we get you guys out of here. Looking at potential price targets, right? As first and foremost, we should be expecting, if we break this to the upside, to work our way up to somewhere within the center point within this cup and handle structures. We did have a very beautiful setup, guys, and we would keep this in mind, right? It's a beautiful cup, very obvious, and then this nice tight handle. And we covered it over here, guys, saying it's very imminent. We're going to get the breakout. We actually expected another week consolidation, but we actually just immediately spiked right up. Things look really good here once as well. So we should be pushing around this 50% fractal within this, you know, structure. That does make a lot of sense. So let's go mark that up, guys. Should be pushing that 57.73, that rough marker point. When we do get here, we'll mark it out, guys. But I think if we do break over the top, being this 52.24, we form out and break this ascending triangle to the upside, this will be the target, guys. So with that being said, guys, I think the most likely situation is that we do form this ascending triangle. We continue to play this out. We get very, very tight until a breakout, like pushing this 57.73 marker point and then consolidating. If we do break down, guys, at the number one level we should be revisiting is this gap down low. We gap down this massive day. We left this big body there and they defended for 1, 2, 3, and 4 days before spiking. So if we do, guys, knock down from this ascending trend line, hard break 47.50, ultimately this 46.37 level, we're likely to come down here and attempt a double bottom of similarness, and we will cover that if that happens live, guys. But I think this is an important fractal point here. If we do break over the top of this ascending triangle, we should be working our way towards this gap fill ultimately at this 61.41 level. But as of now, it is a little bit tricky, guys. We do lean bullish, definitely, but we will continue to cover this as this is live. This is a very tricky price prediction, right? Over here, guys, there's easy chart for us to break down. We felt very, very good about it, but now we have a very drastic flip in trend, guys. So that being said, guys, my name is Dylan. Once again, if you found any value within the video, we will be covering HIMS about 1 to 2 times per week. So with that being said, I hope you guys had a good day. Take care, trade smart, and peace.